Hey guys, I'm Cassandra, and I'm so excited to have you here for this Sustainable Success workshop, how to go big and shine bright without burning out. So I'm guessing if you're here, if you're interested in this workshop, it's for one of two reasons. Either one, you might already be doing what you love, feeling like you're getting some traction or a lot of traction, but feeling exhausted, depleted, unable to enjoy the success you're having, enjoy the good things that are coming into your life, of its personal relationships or friendships or opportunities otherwise. Or you want to create a business, you want to create a new career trajectory for yourself, whatever industry you're in, and you're looking at those people that you strive to be like, and you realize they're all overworked, exhausted, and depleted, and you want to be able to go that big, to shine that bright without burning out, without having it affect your health and your happiness. And this workshop, I want to tell you right off the get-go, is something that I intend to offer to you as tools to help you build not only your health and your happiness, but your wealth as well. So when we hear the word sustainable success, when we hear the word, we're going to get rid of burnout, right? Oftentimes we can think that means that, oh, well, I'm going to have to play small. I'm going to have to not be as successful as I thought I should be. I'm going to have to reel in that big, juicy life I've been dreaming of and settle for something less because I'm scared if I go that big, I'm going to burn out. I'm going to be exhausted. I'm going to get adrenal fatigue like every entrepreneur I know. I'm going to get an autoimmune condition. I'm going to get yada, 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 all this stuff, right? And I think this is a huge limiting belief and fear that's more permeating in our culture than ever, because there's a lot of truth to it. Because, there's a lot of quote unquote role models out there, especially in the online business world, that if you look up to, and if you really do your kind of due diligence, or you kind of go behind the scenes a little bit, you find out that most of the people that are selling you those 7-figure solutions or whatnot are also seeing like 7 doctors to try to cure their own burnout, are also hustling so hard that they don't have a personal life, right? And from the beginning of my journey, I've never been about that. From the beginning of my career, it was always about how can we create a life that lights you up. And that life that lights you up, that kind of little catchphrase that I may use, is a core value in my business. It's a core value in how I handle my clients, in the things I teach. Because for me, it's not just about getting to have that big juicy life. It's about getting to enjoy it. And it's not about getting the quote unquote successful life that Sally down the block has, if that's not what you want, right? It's about finding, what is that life for you? What does that look like? How can we build a life and a business in that direction, and not based on what society thinks or what you're seeing out there in the world? And how can we create that foundation for you, so that you have this bandwidth to hold all the juicy things you're calling in. I think there's so many people out there talking about manifestation, 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 and that's great. But you know what happens if manifestation is like calling in dozens of roses and having a mason jar as a vase, right? So we're manifesting, 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 but we don't actually have a container to hold the things that we're calling in. And so this has been, like I said, something I've really been passionate about from the get-go. I talk about it a lot in my book, Eat with Intention, about creating this foundation for expansion, creating the grounding to build a skyscraper life on. You want a skyscraper life. If you're watching this, I know you do. And maybe for that, it's being the CEO of your company. Maybe it's starting your own company. Maybe it's having your own pottery line on Etsy. Maybe it's having any and all of that, while also having amazing kids and an amazing partner, and traveling when you want to, and going to yoga, and getting to play in a rec soccer league, or whatever it is, right? You want a big, juicy life. And if we go so much for that without setting that foundation, what happens is similar to a skyscraper, right? If the structure is not in place, if it's not on steady grounding, then the first hurricane that comes is going to crash. And the thing is, we can't stop the hurricanes and the tornadoes of our lives. The hurricanes and the tornadoes are the busy seasons, are the illnesses or the deaths in the family or the divorces, the breakups, right? The hurricanes are moving, right? I just moved this week. And you know what? It took so much energy to like just clear enough space to be able to record this workshop for you guys. And having that foundation in place allows you to still be strong, allows you to still kind of do a little wibble wobble and bounce back when things get crazy. And the more things you want in your big, juicy life, the crazier it can be. So this workshop, I'm intending to plant the seeds for you to see what the core pillars I have found really help me sustain when I'm going for my big juicy life. And I know a lot of you guys that are watching this probably follow me on Instagram, and you see, I mean, this summer alone, I've been to Hawaii, to Greece, to Germany, to Copenhagen, to Paris, to Austria, to Israel. Yeah, I'm like, is there any other place that I'm forgetting? And I'm about to leave on a flight to London tomorrow. Right? So I live, all the while moving in with my boyfriend, while, doing my practical magic program, or working on a lot of other TV projects on the side. There have been so many things going on. And the only reason I'm able to hold those things and be smiling and be happy and be present and actually enjoy those things and not being exhausted by them is because of the tools I'm going to teach you here today. So I hope you listen up. And like I said, I've been teaching this a little bit about me for those of you who are new to me. And for those of you who are old to me, I'm going to share, a story that I actually haven't shared publicly before that I think is really important and it's really relevant to this work. But I've been doing this work for years now. It's probably been almost a decade since I began my blog, which was all about listening to my body, loving my body, connecting to my body so that I knew how to eat intentionally, which led up to my book, Eat with Intention. And by the time I got to Eat with Intention, I had already been on ABC on The Taste doing a cooking show as a happy, healthy living guru. I had had numerous other public appearances. I had been giving workshops and talks. I had had years of holistic health clients that I was seeing that I was helping really find, a holistic approach to happiness and well-being and showing up in their life in a bigger capacity. So we were talking about, listening to your body, finding foods that fuel you. We were also talking about things like ways to clear your mind, ways to reduce stress, ways to feel more in alignment and more connected with what brings you joy and getting clear on what you really wanted in your life and what's important to you. And then after the TV show and the book came out and my brand kept on growing and I launched the Lightmaker Book Club and the Spread Your Light Mastermind and the Practical Magic Training and on and on and on and on. And I got to a certain point during that journey, and it was right around, honestly, it was finishing up the book and then when the book launched, where I was physically falling apart. I remember it was like this running joke with my friends when I was finishing up Eat with Intention that I might die writing a wellness book because I was working such long hours doing recipe testing, trying to get deadlines done, trying to still see all my clients because nothing had slowed down in my business while I was finishing up this book. And I felt like how I described it to my friends was if you've ever played a video game and they have the little batteries above people's head, it was like mine was like flashing with this sliver of red. It was like all the way drained. I had no battery left. And I just thought, it's just a matter. Someone's going to like ping me the wrong way and it's going to be lights out. And I don't think enough people talk about this. I remember the day of my book launch, right, where I was giving a speech and I had a bunch of a signing to do after it, this kind of moment that so many people dream of. And I remember talking to my boyfriend at the time and telling him I didn't even want to do it because I wanted to sleep because I was so physically hurting at that point in my life that I couldn't even be excited. I actually canceled most of my book tour for Eat With Intention and didn't actually start it. The book came out in November. I didn't start speaking engagements until April because I took that in between time to sleep, to get my health back, to do all the things I needed to do because I had maxed out my bandwidth, burnt myself out, and here it was, one of the most crucial points in my life, and I kind of shit the bed, right? And that had a profound impact on me. And that was also a very core pillar as to why I created the Practical Magic training, which is so much more than magic. It really is about, this holistic foundation kind of wrapped up in my magical package. But thinking about this and thinking about even recently in the past few years since that incident after the book, there have been other big things that have happened as the business has grown, as life has become more demanding, as my life has become more full with all of the juicy things that I've been wanting, where I've been traveling a lot, how my well-being and my level of burnout or exhaustion is directly correlated to how well I'm handling my foundation, how well I'm nurturing my bandwidth every day. And so when I was coming up to this next round of Spread Your Light, which is my spiritual business mastermind, I really sat with myself and I was like, do I want to do this? And what I realized was that for me, if I want to coach a group of ambitious women to help them up-level their lives, I am not willing to do it unless I am talking about sustainable success. Because you can only go so far on the hustle. You can only go so far phoning it in. And, I've heard all of the excuses, I've had all of them myself, I'm too busy. I can't quiet my mind enough to meditate. Whatever it is, I don't, I'm not making enough money right now. All of the things, right? We have all of these excuses about why we're not building the foundation. And we're trying to build the third floor. We're building the third floor. We're buying the money course. We're building the third floor. We're buying the Facebook ads, online marketing thing. But you know what? Guess what? You buy, invest, buy all that stuff. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to have a tornado and it's going to crash, because you never put the time in to build the foundation. So I'm passionate about helping women achieve their dreams, about helping women realize that all of us, every single one of us, has the seed of greatness inside of us, and every single one of us has the ability to make it manifest in the outside world. But we need to water it. We need to give it space to grow. We need to take care of the soil. We need to love up on that seed and allow it to blossom, because it's through that nurturing of the soil, it's through the watering of it, it's through the tending to the garden that allows it to blossom, right? It's not through taking a course on the best blooming, right? It's about getting that foundation, because that seed inside of you, that juicy life that you dream of, that ambitious career path that you have in your mind, that calls you, that keeps you up at night, that you fantasize about, the thing that you maybe even see reflections of in other people and are like, I should be doing that. I want to do that. It is waiting for you. Your skyscraper wants to be built, but you can't even get going unless you have that foundation. So in this little workshop, what I'm going to do is we're going to walk through the 3 pillars of my well-being trifecta. And I'm going to give you an exercise for each one of them to kind of introduce you to it. And I want you to really take this on. Take it on for just 7 days. Take the suggestions on, do them daily, and just notice what shifts in your business. And then at the end of it, I'll share a little bit more about how this has helped me. And if you're interested, share about kind of the next evolution of my spiritual business group that I'll be inviting you to that's based on this core work to create truly sustainable success. So, first things first, we are ushering in a new paradigm of doing business. That's right. I'm talking to you if you're a woman or you're someone who identifies as a woman or you're someone that's sitting in your feminine energy right now, right? Because the truth is what's happening and why a lot of women are going big, shining bright, and burning out because they're operating in the patriarchal paradigm. They're operating and doing business and climbing the ladder and doing their online business or whatever it is in a patriarchal paradigm that's not going to work for you. That's not designed with a female's biology. That's not designed with a female psyche, with our gifts. Here's the thing, guys. We are different from men on a lot of fundamental levels, and that's a superpower. And men have for years spent time figuring out how to operate in business in a way that best suits their biology and their evolution, right? And women, in the past, what we've seen is we've seen women kind of coming in and trying to, take out the big boys or whatnot by using their same methodology. And we don't have those same superpowers. Our superpowers are different. And, in my opinion, a lot more powerful. But it's actually kind of the biggest trick of the mind, right? Because, again, if the patriarchy allows us to stay small enough and play by this game that's actually booby trapped against us winning, then we won't win. Or we'll win, quote unquote, in the eyes of society, but lose in terms of our joy and our health, right? And so this whole, what I'm about to teach you and what I'm really teaching in my Sustainable Success group coaching program is this new paradigm of how to be a female in business, of how to create sustainable success, of how to be a magnet through creating a strong foundation. Because as women, our superpowers are our intuition, are our magnetism, right? We don't have to go out and get things as much as men. We can allow things to come to us, but what we do right now, when we're overwhelmed, when we're overloaded, when we're feeling depleted, is we're literally closing the door with saying, no, please, no more. I can't handle it. I'm going to fall apart, right? And instead, when we lay back and we relax and we open up and we can receive and we're feeling calm and we're feeling centered in our body, we can powerfully welcome in all those things. We can unleash the magnet because it becomes safe to unleash the magnet so that we may call those things in, so that we get the random email, so that we're intuitive. We're meditating in the morning and our intuition says, email so-and-so. Our intuition says, launch this program or talk to this kind of woman or take a walk to the yoga studio and ask so-and-so about this, right? We can tap into all of those, divine powers that we have when we do business in the feminine paradigm. When we go big and we shine bright because we've worked on our bandwidth that day. Because the most important work that I've done in my business, and people ask me this all the time on podcasts and interviews, clients, what's the one, most important thing that you've done to grow your business, or how come your business has grown so much or whatnot? My business grows in direct proportion to me paying attention to my well-being trifecta, to me paying attention to building the foundation. I focus on expanding the vase because I know the roses will come in, right? And the same is true for you. So let's dive in. So this well-being trifecta, this new formula for operating in the new paradigm, right, is pretty simple. The first portion of it is your food, your body relationship, all of that. The second portion of it is your mental, your mind, your meditation, that whole portion. And your third is your spirituality, your self-care, your soul food, right? So you have these three, this little trifecta of well-being, of grounded foundation that you need to be tending to every single day. Every single day. And here's the thing, this is your job. This is part of your job. If you want to be someone that goes out in the world and is a light and creates influence and is magnetic and is someone that's constantly attracting these beautiful opportunities, is someone that is connected to their intuition, has the energy to show up, you know it. When you walk into a room and someone shows up with that energy, you know it. You can feel it. And you can also feel it when someone shows up in the room and their tank is on quarter empty. And if you want to go big and you want to shine bright in the world in any industry, you got to be the person that is the light bulb already turned on in the room. And that's your power. Because that's the person that when someone's looking for someone to give a presentation, they're like, oh, Sarah will give the presentation. She's always lit up and bubbly. Oh, who am I looking to promote? You know, Molly always has great ideas. She always has this amazing intuitive ideas, right? If you're that person in your business, that's the person you want to work with as a coach, right? You want to work with that person that's like bubbly and magnetic and magical. And how we cultivate that is through this well-being trifecta. So the first thing we want to talk about is food and body. And so before I give you the exercise, food and body, you know, obviously I wrote a whole book on this because I think it's so important and even more so for women than for men. Because once again, we're talking about this new feminine paradigm of success. So I want you to think about your body as like a car. And if you are driving a Porsche and you're fueling it with potato chips, it doesn't matter how amazing that car is. It doesn't matter how great the steering is. It doesn't matter about all the awesome things that are going on inside it or how beautiful it is. That car will slowly fall apart. And so you need to treat your body like a premium vehicle that you are fueling with premium fuel because you, let's say, have higher ambitions than 90% of the population. If you're watching this video, if you follow me, I know you have ambitions higher than 90% of the population. That's my audience. I love you guys, okay? I have ambitions higher than 98% of the population maybe, right? And so we're going to drive our cars all the way to Mars, baby girl, right? We're going there. And you need to put premium fuel in your tank because it matters, because it oozes out your pores, because it radiates in your aura, because it affects your magnetism, because it affects your focus, your energy, your clarity of mind. You don't have the luxury of effing up. And you know what? When you take yourself that seriously, oh, life shifts real fast. And, you know, this is not about doing some crazy extreme diet. You guys know I don't believe in any of that crap. But if you think about it, if you think about some people you really admire in the world, and if you are privy enough to get hold of an interview where they talk about their food and wellness habits, I guarantee you they all have some pretty strict habits. And it's not, you know, out of deprivation. For some people, for most of them, for truly successful, radiant people that are creating this foundation in this new paradigm, it's because they want to fuel themselves for sustainable success. And they know their body's particular needs. So, for instance, knowing how your body reacts to grains, knowing how your body reacts to certain nuts, knowing how your body reacts to different portion sizes of food, knowing how many increments your body needs of food, how many hours you can go within before becoming ravenous, how many hours feels good, what kind of proteins feel good. Getting to know your body, right, which is all of the work in Eat with Intention, and also a lot of the work that we'll be diving into on some of the live calls in my Sustainable Success group coaching program is so important. And it's about so much more than losing the extra 10 pounds or clearing up your skin. All of that stuff will shift because your body wants to be radiant. Your body wants to look its best. Your body wants clear skin. It wants focus. It wants to be its healthiest, right? You just have to start listening to it. And when we take ourselves that seriously, when we really honor, hey, I'm driving this Porsche, to Jupiter in this lifetime, so I need to make sure it's fuel to go the distance, right? I need to make sure that I feel good, that I'm exuding, a certain amount of energy here. And our food has everything to do with it. And it's one of the core foundational things that sets up how you feel and how you think and the energy you project on any given day. So do not underestimate it. And one of the number one mistakes that I see ambitious women making is forgetting about food. Is either not eating enough, eating crap, getting, a slice of pizza on the way home from work, or emotionally eating because they're stressed. They let their food go to crap because they're so focused on the hustle. They're so focused on finishing that deadline or doing that they're not paying attention to their fuel. And it will take you out, guys. I'm not playing in this video, okay? So the first exercise that I want to challenge you with this week, if you want to try this on and see what it does, because it's going to blow your mind, is thinking about what your personal power breakfast is. What's your personal power breakfast? So I want you to think right now, if you have, let's say, a pivotal moment in your career. So for me, that might be going on a TV show or testing in front of some producers for a TV show. Or maybe it's doing a massive speaking engagement for 10,000 people, right? Think of like a big moment in your career. And I want you to ask yourself, let's say this thing is happening at like 10 a.m. in the morning, 10 or 11 a.m. in the morning. What are you going to eat for breakfast? What are you going to eat for breakfast that would make you feel your best? And if you don't know, then I want you to experiment this week with a couple of different breakfasts and see what would actually make you feel your best, right? And so for me, in that instance, I know what will make me feel my best is a smoothie that has some healthy fat, some good fiber, some greens, a little fruit. I have a certain smoothie that I make that helps me feel completely full and completely satiated, but raises my energy and allows me to still be at full wattage. And then I would wait, and then after whatever it is, that's when I would go and have some like sweet potato fries or whatever, right? Something a little bit heavier afterwards. But for me, having something that's fulfilling and hearty and like jam-packed with nutrients allows me to be on point for the things I need to show up for. And this is one tool that one of many tools we'll be talking about around sustainable success is knowing what your power breakfast is. What is your power breakfast for really big moments? And then what is your daily power breakfast? So oftentimes I have that same smoothie on a regular basis, regardless of what. I had that this morning, right? Because this is an important thing for me that I wanted to be perfectly energized for. So same thing for lunch. What is the thing, that if you have a heavy afternoon where you have to be focused, you have to be on the ball, maybe you have to give a presentation, what is that thing that you can eat that's going to make you feel great? For me, that might be an awesome salad, right? That's like loaded up with some tempeh and all different goodness and a dressing I really love, right? That again gives me a lot of that energy and that satiation without lowering my energy levels or grounding me too much, so I'm not going to be able to get enough stuff down and my energy is already kind of dipping in the evening, right? So we want to start being more strategic with food as our fuel And you guys know I love food being delicious, so it doesn't mean it can't be delicious here. I'm giving you endless amounts of flexibility, but I want to challenge you to find what is your power breakfast this week. And if you have Eat with Intention, maybe give it a look over and even take it to the next level and do the food mood journal that I talk about in Eat with Intention, and really start to figure out what are the things that make you feel your best, looking through that lens of being able to be your most radiant magnetic self, because you will start noticing how you feel, how bright you shine after certain foods once you put that eye on it. So do that for the next week, and that is going to be the food section of the Wellbeing Trifecta. So the second part of the trifecta is your mind, your mental state, meditation, right? I think meditation has been the secret sauce for my business. I've gotten so many of my best ideas from meditation. Meditation expands my bandwidth when I'm overwhelmed and I have a lot of projects going on. I don't know how people run successful business without meditating, or losing their mind. So what I want to do is to show you a meditation that can help you connect to the soul of your business or your career. And this is a tool that, again, we will be working on more extensively together in my Sustainable Success Group Coaching Program. But I want you to connect, because your career, let's just say career, because I know some of you guys are going to be starting your own businesses, and some of you guys might have a career that's, in another business working for someone else. And it's applicable to both, because our career energy has its own soul, right? It's its own energy field that we can tap into, right? That's not always completely meshed with ours, right? So when we can tap into that, we can connect to that. We can also see what it wants, how it wants to be expressed, right? I think divorcing our energy from our career soul is actually a very helpful, sanity-giving exercise especially for entrepreneurs or for anyone who over-identifies with your career. Because oftentimes we connect our career as us, right? And especially if you're someone like me who I am my career, it can be really, really hard. But even people that work for businesses, you work there for so many years and all of a sudden you're like, this is who I am. And so doing this meditation is actually going to separate those entities, and you are your own soul entity. Your career has its own soul entity, and you can connect with it. You can plug into it and see what it has to tell you, what it needs to thrive. And it's something I recommend doing on a regular basis, in place of and in addition of your regular mindfulness practice. So I thought it would be a treat for us to do together, so that we can not only connect to it, but allow it to show us what sustainable success looks like for it. Okay? So get yourself into a nice, comfortable position. Uncross your feet if they're crossed, or you can sit cross-legged if you'd like. And then let's just place our palms facing up on our knees, close our eyes, and take some nice deep breaths. Just in your nose, out your mouth. And just allow any stress from the day to just wash away. Allowing your muscles to relax. Every exhale to release even more tension. We're just going to feel this bright golden ball of light in the core of our being, right around our solar plexus chakra, our navel center, and just connect to this golden ball of light, feeling it expand and grow with each breath. And we're actually going to allow it to release itself from us, feeling this ball of golden light coming out of our solar plexus so that is in front of us. So that this beautiful entity, this core ball of light that represents our career trajectory for this lifetime, the soul of the work we're supposed to do here on the planet, is now out of our being and right here in front of us. And I want you to bring your hands down a little bit and just feel this ball of golden light resting in your hands. Like you are actually holding this energy, this soul of your work, of your career. You can feel that energy actually pulsating in the palm of your hands. It's a very real, living entity. And I want you to just breathe into it as you're establishing your connection to it. You're opening the lines of communication so that it may send thoughts, answers, feelings, intuitive nudges directly up your hands, your arms, up your neck, into your mind, your eyes, your mouth. Feeling it connected. And just ask it before we even go into anything. Let's just ask, there's anything it wants you to know right now, just off the bat, anything it's been waiting to tell you. And now let's ask it to show you in your mind's eye what its highest vision for you right now is. What is its highest vision for your career, for your work, for how you show up in the world? And if nothing comes up, just allow yourself to breathe into it, maintain that connection, and give it a little grace. Don't judge anything that might come up. Just allow whatever floats up to float up. Not questioning it. Maybe it's abstract. Maybe it's surprising. Just allowing it to be whatever it is. When you see this version of you, shining bright, being in the full zone of who you're here to show up as in this lifetime, I want you to expand your vision to also see the rituals this version of you relies on to hold the bandwidth she is playing at. How is she taking care of her body? What about her mind and her mental health? What is she doing to nurture her soul? Again, just allow whatever comes up to come up. Nothing's right, nothing's wrong. Just listen. And then when you're ready, asking one last question. If there's any blocks, if there's anything that needs to be revealed to you right now in this sacred space, in the middle of this workshop, about what you need to do to be able to expand, to be able to hold this next level. If there's any beliefs, practices, or anything that's going on right now that's stopping you from blooming just the way this beautiful soul sees you, hear it now. And then bring your hands and this beautiful ball of light back into your solar plexus. Placing your hands on your solar plexus. Feeling that reintegration, that confirmation of your work, of who you're supposed to show up as, even if you didn't see specifics, how you felt, what the energy was like. Just breathing with it for a moment. And then taking a deep breath in, sealing it with gratitude. And exhale, and you can slowly come back. Now that's an important practice that we'll be doing on a regular basis in the Sustainable Success coaching program, because I think we at any time have this beautiful divine resource that we can connect to really get in touch with this beautiful entity that we have that's guiding our work here in this lifetime, that so many of us, when we're busy and we're rushing around and we're not focusing on expanding our bandwidth, we brush away. And so we end up having to launch 7 programs to get to the one that we're really meant to do. We end up having to go on 20 job interviews to get the job we really want, instead of really circumventing that. Again, new paradigm. By connecting to that soul of the work we're here to do in the world, our career energy, our business's energy, and really being able to specify and move ahead with intention, to call things in, because we open up doors when we do that. And so this is a process, right? This is something, like I said, we'll be doing regularly in the Sustainable Success coaching program, because every time you keep connecting, the stronger that connection gets, to the point where now it's like, when I'm tuned into it, it was like yesterday, it was crazy. It was like all these little things were coming up, and it was so clear to me. I was like, nope, not meant to do that. Nope, not meant to do that. Yes, got to email that person. Nope, not meant to do that. And it almost becomes like you have like a little angel on your shoulder or glasses that you wear, right? That you're able, like you have this little guardian that's coming out for you saying, no, 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 not that job opportunity. Oh, actually talk about this. Oh no, this is what you need to get done today, right? That comes from that soul of the work you're supposed to do here in the world. And again, it's one of the most powerful things you can do to expand your bandwidth. Because think of all the energy you're saving when you're connecting to that every day and you're not just throwing spaghetti against the wall in your business. So that's, the little teaser I'm going to give you of the mind part of the well-being trifecta. But some of the other tools we'll be doing will be different energetic techniques to really release limiting beliefs, to release anxiety and stress, to energetically actually expand our bandwidth so that we can deal with higher levels of stress, so we can deal. And when I say deal with higher levels of stress, I mean, the bigger we go in the world, the more open we are to different things coming at us, right? It's kind of like if you think of, if you have like a piece of paper this big, right? Then it's probably going to be easy that, that you kind of protect it, right? Maybe no one's going to splatter anything on it, right? If you have a billboard, right, and you're walking around with a billboard, there's a lot more square footage for people to kind of mess up. So the bigger you go, there's more openings for people to kind of come in and do their little things that might stress you out. And whether that's leaving a nasty comment on YouTube or, trying to get a refund on something that was not refundable or breaking a contract or whatever, right? All these kind of little stressors that just come from when you get to a certain point. We expand our bandwidth. We can also energetically move those things out so that when the thing comes in, I clear it fast, right? When I'm dealing with a lot of stress, I'm constantly in the process of energetically clearing it out of my field using these techniques and tools like EFT and like different other chakra moving energy stuff that we will be covering in Sustainable Success. But I really want in this workshop for you to just focus on that one exercise, because that one exercise is so powerful and will literally transform your business. Will transform your business. If you do literally any of these little 3, they will transform your business. The food stuff will also, because when you're thinking with a different mind, when you're fueled with a different fuel, you're operating on a whole different game plan. So trust me on this. Try this for a week. You're going to be blown away by the results you get. Exercise 3 is creating a restorative ritual that you can do that fills up your cup. And so you guys know I'm big on rituals, and one of my favorite restorative rituals is a goddess bath, right? So after I did that just this week, because it was a lot with moving and work and all the things, right? And I told my boyfriend, I was like, going in the goddess bath. And, I got this beautiful rose Epsom salt, and I put some ylang ylang. I'm probably saying that wrong. I lit some incense, some candles, I dimmed the lights, I played some music, and I was able to be, first of all, I get so much relaxation and so much nourishment from just setting it up, right? Because the act of setting it up is the act of doing something loving for me. It's the act of prioritizing my well-being, right, in a crazy time. So that alone is so important. And, one of my girlfriends has a ritual that she walks to like a local bakery, gets a fresh loaf baguette, and gets some beautiful like farm fresh butter and cherry jam, and makes herself a little toast in the morning with her favorite cup of coffee and just enjoys her backyard, right? So these rituals don't have to be like, you could do a whole spell, right? Or you can just, have a moment. Me and my boyfriend, we just moved into this apartment, and one of our new rituals is watching the sunset from our roof deck. So we try to go up there, and whether it's with a glass of wine or a cup of tea or sparkling water, whatever it is, we go up there, we sit, we bring some sort of beverage, and we just watch the sunset, and we allow ourselves to chat about our day and just breathe before we move into whatever project we're doing at night or whatever, we have going on. It's like that moment fills up both of our cups. So developing a restorative ritual, and this, like the bath one, for instance, has been so key for me, because when I'm on the road, when I'm speaking a lot, when I'm working long hours, when I'm exhausted from travel, that ritual mentally signals to my body, oh, she's taking a bath. We're filling the cup up right now. It's not, it's an affirmation in my body now that I am paying attention to myself and I'm doing that. So finding a little thing for you, even if that's something as simple as, lighting a candle and saying a little prayer or writing a gratitude list, finding a ritual that restores you. So those are your 3 assignments for me, to literally watch how your career shifts, your energy shifts, your health, your wealth, all of it shifts, right? Because that's, some of the things we're going to be talking about in sustainable success is how your health, your wealth, and your happiness are all intrinsically connected, right? And when we are creating from our true energy, right? When we were operating in this new paradigm, we were operating in our feminine magic. They all come together. And it's amazing how when we focus on these things that feel very kind of holistic and more wellness oriented, how much the business grows. And I think that was one of the things I was so blown away at, because for the longest time I had this insidious lie that I was telling myself that you might relate to. That was like, well, if I focus all this time on the meditation, the self-care, and eating right, it's just going to take time for me making money. It's going to take energy away from me, building my business even more. And the truth is that's a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. And what I found was when I started paying attention to the well-being trifecta, when I started expanding my bandwidth, the magic that happened was that I actually started making more money than ever. I started feeling more inspired about my work. Opportunities literally felt like they were falling from the ceilings. I get random emails on Tuesday, or like whatever day of the week, right? And you actually enter this new paradigm of doing business where it isn't so blood, sweat, tears, like let me, be a gladiator out there and hustle more than you and drink more coffee than you and like have to eat more dark chocolate at night than you because I'm so stressed out. Like, no, let's piece out that competition. We're not a part of that because we are goddesses here on earth. We got big things to do. And how a goddess works is through being a magnet. It's through being in her temple. And by following this little simple formula, this little well-being trifecta, right? You are entering back into your temple so you can call in the greatness that is already yours, that is innately already within you, the seed that has been planted that just wants to bloom. It wants to bloom and it just wants you to give it the conditions so that it will be able to. So that is what this is all about. So I challenge you this week to focus on those 3 things. Find out what your power breakfast is, connect to the soul of your business, and create a filling your cup self-care ritual, and watch what happens in your business if you commit to that for a week. Because it literally, it's gonna blow your mind, and I cannot wait to hear. Please tag me on Instagram, DM me, tell me what's coming up for you after doing this, because I know it's just gonna be incredible. And I really want you to just take that minute and actually see yourself as how big and how bright you could actually go if you honor yourself that much. right? If you built the foundation for that temple so that you could sit in your throne and be the goddess that you are and be the badass girl boss, lady boss, whatever you want to call yourself, right? Because you created a foundation that the skyscraper can be built on. So if you're feeling this, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, if you're like, Cass, this is exactly what I need to hear right now. This is a divine little download straight into my computer that I'm watching right now. This is what I feel like I was banging my head against the wall, feeling exhausted and drained and uninspired and frustrated all the time, right? And not knowing how I could have this big, juicy queendom until I watched this video and you confirmed something you probably already had a sneaking suspicion on, right? Then I want to invite you to apply for this Sustainable Success Group Coaching Program. You know, it's the next evolution of Spread Your Light. And it's, you know, like I said, the new paradigm of going big and shining bright without burning out. And it's going to be 6 months of us meeting every other week live. You're going to be meeting with an amazing group of other goddesses doing big things in the world, wanting to really shine their brightest without feeling like they have to sacrifice their happiness, their health, or of course, their wealth, right? And I'm going to be teaching and showing you and helping you integrate this into your business so that you create this core foundation, so that you create this beautiful soil that's so fertile that will blossom the seeds that you've already been ready to plant into it, right? Will give you this bandwidth so that you can have a beautiful, successful career of whatever you want to do. And be happy, and be present to it, and feel your best during it, so that you can be your most radiant magnetic self. And you know what? I'm going to give you all of the videos from Spread Your Light. So that means you're going to get all the logistics too. You're going to get all the marketing, the branding, the biz roadmap. You're going to get my whole Earn with Intention course about money. You're going to get all of the juicy goodness to help you logistically build your business and to make sure you build a badass, really high, fantastic skyscraper that you've been dreaming of, while we give ourselves the nourishment and the support of community, while I'm teaching you how to not only create all these things that you're ready to create, to attract a bigger audience, to attract your ideal clients, to negotiate contracts, to do all of those logistics. You're going to get all of it. You can look at the info page for it for a full list of all that stuff. There's a ton of it that I'm just gonna give to you when you join. But the real juicy part of it is that you're also gonna get a bi-monthly, every other week, we're gonna meet and we're gonna get to powwow and build this foundation and share what's going on for us. And you're going to get some real hot seat coaching from me because I've been there, I've done that, and I know every aspect of growing a heart-centered business, of building a soul-centered career, of going your biggest. And I've done a lot of the pitfalls like I told you, and I've learned a lot from them. And I can completely tell you right now, I've gotten to the side where, you know, I'm not perfect by no means, right? But I know how to make money, do what I love, create an impact, go freaking bigger than anybody expects you to go, okay? All the while allowing myself to be centered in my soul, allowing myself to have energy and to be connected to my intuition and to have a life that feels magical, to have an amazing relationship, to travel all over the world, to have all of the different facets of life that are important to me, because life is not one-dimensional. Life is not just about money. Life is not just about business, right? Life is the whole freaking package. And that's what we're building here. That, to me, is sustainable success. Sustainable success is happiness in all the areas of your life, is presence in all areas of your life, is magnetism and magic and radiance, is so that you feel like you are flowing through life like water. and not that you're pushing a boulder uphill. We're over that. That's the old paradigm. So if you're ready to join me, if you're ready to hop on this amazing train into the new paradigm of being successful, of doing business, of being in your feminine, of being this goddess in the temple that's ready to step into her magnificence, mind, body, and soul, ready to lay that foundation to build a skyscraper on, I hope that you apply to be in the Sustainable Success program, because it's just going to be epic. And I cannot wait. I can't wait to see the forces of light that are going to come out of this program, because I'm literally going to take you guys where you are, probably exhausted, overwhelmed, confused, lacking, maybe wanting clarity, maybe feeling like you don't know what the next step is, maybe feeling exhausted, but you're not even like successful enough to feel like you're exhausted, right? And take you in, help you build a foundation so that you can get clear on what that career soul of yours has in store for you. We can build it from the ground up with a really strong foundation, and you can welcome in with your bigger bandwidth more magical opportunities than you ever thought possible. You can know what it feels like to have those aha aligned moments and downloads that lead to incredible projects and career opportunities. You know what it's like to be able to, the first time, I can't wait to give this gift to you. The first time you have your most intense, busy week and you feel good. And you feel good for it. And you actually feel like a boss because you wake up and you have your power breakfast and you connect with the soul of your business and you have clients, meeting, podcasts, filming. I'm telling you, I've had lots of weeks like this, and if I could just give you how that feels, it's electric. It's unstoppable. You really feel like a force of light. And that's what I'm committing to creating with this Sustainable Success program. I am going to make you the force of light that you already are. I'm just going to unleash you and give you the tools to create that foundation, to expand that bandwidth, and to go flippin' bigger and brighter than you ever thought possible. Join me below.